next session, I will be asking you to be here for the next 10 more minutes. And the topic again, it is again with IAC only, and the discussion will be on the accelerators and incubators opportunities for the startups. And the speaker for the event is Professor M.N. Jha.
A very good afternoon. I won't take much time, 5 to 10 minutes merely, give simply brief over there because the first session was a bit exhaustive. So a student would have already been in the process of gaining a lot from the first session. So my session, I have deliberately made it very short, giving you some outline, focusing accelerator and incubator, uh, giving some quick recap of some things. As you know about the entrepreneurs, this depiction will give you the clear idea of the entrepreneurs and the startup. The creativity on and innovation on the one axis, and other axis is general management skill, business know-how, and networking. When you are not doing any creativity and you are not involving yourself in innovation, and you have less of the skill, simply you are putting money in the starting your own business or the business of the family, you keep on making a rollover. So you are promoter. When your skill is low, but putting some innovation thereof, so that quadrant is called investors. When you don't have any creativity and innovation, but you have skill, networking, and know-how, the third quadrant is administrator. You might be a good administrator, but the top quadrant is very, very important when you are full of the creativity, innovation. You keep on generating ideas and you have administrative skill, management skill, networking and know-how, then you can prove yourself as a good entrepreneur. And it is very, very important for the ecosystem for entrepreneurship. And the entrepreneurs, when you focus on those areas which have yet not been touched anywhere, that area is called, that part is called the startup. So for entrepreneurs and startup, you should be at the top of the creativity and innovation and full of networking, know-how, and general management, either you yourself or group of the students or group of the entrepreneurs. This slide having quicking further down. What is entrepreneurship process? Because the opportunity is one of the important things which you are required to be addressed upon there. So there are every time those who are in search of opportunity, a lot many opportunity there in the market. So it starts from their existence of opportunity, entrepreneurial opportunity. The lot many opportunity are there. We don't have much time to discuss all the things, but in short, I'm giving you. When amongst lot many opportunity you have around, and you are able to discover one and two and few this opportunity. This is second stage. And when you work on any of those opportunity, there you try to decide to exploit those opportunity, and ultimately you become entrepreneurs. And this is the one of the very important phase of the ecosystem of entrepreneurship. So this is the entrepreneurship process. What we discuss entrepreneurship. We discuss entrepreneurship process. Now, the important area which I had to discuss on the startup, accelerator, and incubators. You have already been discussed and given the idea of a startup by Director Sir, what a startup is. In fact, so I'm giving the short idea of a startup. A startup, as the 5 years, this limitation is there, firm should not be the more than 5 years old. Besides that, the startup is typically applied to the young innovative firms. Here, young innovative firm means 5 years and less, with an ambition to grow often when operating under conditions of the significant uncertainty, where there is full of uncertainty, nobody tries to take a risk upon there. You come forward, you innovate, you put your idea, and your firm is less than 5 years, then that firm will be called the startup. Now, we are coming down to business incubator. For a startup and entrepreneurs, everyone is required some support. support because of many things which you feel that this is new. You are good innovators, you have good idea, but you need to have support from the other expert, either of the finance or further know-how or legal aspect or some infrastructure for time being. So business incubation is an established concept considering incubation as an umbrella term for a range of support activities. I will discuss in the next slide further. What the incubators and incubation is about. Incubations are typically a physical space, mind it. This is related to physical space. This is related to, if there is no physical space, then we simply can't create any incubators. So incubators are a place where new startup, new entrepreneurs are supported. On what ground? Just move on further. So incubations are typically a physical spaces available on relatively flexible term which provide additional incubation services. These services generally include provision of training for entrepreneurs, access to network, and specialist equipment. Suppose you start one entrepreneurship, one enterprise, one startup, but you feel that there is some lackness of the equipment you don't have, it's very costly. You don't have. Or you feel that your staff must be trained on particular area. They are required to be there. You don't have fund for that. Or you don't have much contact and network with the expert, the supplier, and the buyers. So all these things might be supported under the incubators on a particular physical space. When a physical space is created and new entrepreneurs and startups are invited or called for admission or for enrollment, to support them out on what? On networking, on training, on access of the equipments and devices which you are in need of is called incubators. Moving further, characteristics of incubators. This is open-ended duration. Means anytime you may knock the door, come there within, get yourself enrolled or admission, and take the relative and concerned service and make yourself out of there. So this is open-ended. This is no fixed time, fixed duration. So exit usually based on stages of the company, not time frame. So there is no time frame. But if you feel that you need support on the promotion, some may need support on funding, some may need support on training of the employee, some may need support on the development of the prototype or the product. For that work or support, one may join incubators for certain period on the basis of their requirement and exit out of there. So first characteristic is open-ended. Second, typically rent-free. This is generally if you admitted, there is rent-free because this is support system. Then focus on physical space over services. Services are secondary. First is physical space where you will be given a chair, table, system, line connectivity, telephone connectivity, where you can sit, discuss with your buyer and supplier, and get training from the expert. Then provision of services like mentorship. Yes, this I have already discussed. Mentorship faculty or 10% will mentor you up that how you will run business. Again, on the basis of your requirement. So provision of the services like mentorship and entrepreneur training. You will be trained at your requirement over there in that physical space. Often provide technical facilities such as laboratory equipment, as we discussed. Any type of equipment, if you feel that you are in need of, if you are technical, lot many technical equipments you need to not have that funding to purchase. So you can join any incubator. There you can get all those requisite equipments. There you can practice or do work on. Once you have fund, then you will purchase your own equipment. In the case of the management students, mass comm students, you will be provided the systems, provided software, provided training manuals, provided 10%, provided the library for the related books, provided legal support, and legal aspects training thereupon. So all these will be provided in the incubators. Mind it, this is physical space. Tecnia is also going to have one incubators. We have already, but we are going to give a proper shape thereof where you can join and get support and mentorship from the faculty and trained person to do good in your own area. Now, second point is accelerator. In contrast to the incubators, typically provide services through a highly selective cohort-based program of limited duration. In incubator, there was no time limit. You can join for 3 days or 3 months based on your requirement. But in the accelerator, some trained and specialized persons are available there. There, on the basis of your requirement of the particular knowledge, you can join for certain period. A time limit, either 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, as per the program modules are there. It is not open-ended like incubators. Services often include assistance in development in business plan, investor speech, prototype, and initial market testing. So the services and the support provided over here in the accelerator is a bit higher stage in comparison to the incubators. Incubators service and training is the lower stage, initial stage, but in accelerator, the sub-specialized persons are there. So some specialized training you might be provided. Now, this is some comparison in the incubators and accelerator. This is exactly related to the topic which I had to discuss about. Left-hand side is what incubator, right-hand side is accelerator, and the common is the common in between, which I have written. I just explained. In incubators, this is open-ended, free-based, technical facility, physical space, and rolling admission. Anytime you come and get admission. Right hand side, this is accelerator, growth based payment. If there is the growth as per your requirement, you join a particular course over there in accelerator, so you might be charged for that because this is a high level training modules, and some training experts are hired to provide you training and support. Then fixed duration. Then cohort based means a group of person will join and discuss and get 3 slides I will discuss. In India, why all these things are required? Why it is? To give some data, three slides, encouraging areas, gray areas, and entrepreneurial readiness, what India is having. This data is not exactly of 2021. This is 1 year back data, 1.5 year back data, but still there's some plus you can take the figure thereof. So encouraging area, what we have under the ecosystem in India, with 10,000 plus startups we have in India, country in amongst top 5 in the world, adding 800 per year. Its data is much more now. So 800 startups are added per year, and more than 10,000 startups we have. We stand 5th in the world. Encouraging area. It means our students and youngsters are doing good. Second, out of the entire startup, 43% is of the tech-based and 57% non-tech based. So the student of the management, they might be encouraged that 57% is non-tech based. It is not that you should be engineer, only then you can go for the startup. You can go this 57% area for the non-tech driven. Then average age of a startup at 28 means some start at the 20 years, 21 years, 23 years, 24 years. Some start at 35 and 40 years as well. So 28 is good. Encouraging for you all, this is average age for a startup in India. Earlier, there were only 2-3 cities where there were development and the exhaust of this startup, Bengaluru, NCR, Mumbai. But now many more cities are coming as a startup figure. Recently joined those figures doing great along with the Bengaluru, NCR, Mumbai, the Chennai, Pune, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, and Jaipur. So even if you are from the B-tier city, you have much more scope. Now the C and D class cities, they are also doing great in some satellite development of few developments of the startup from the small areas as well. India Tech Startup Funding Report 2017 is old data, but it is more than that. $13.5 billion, 885 deals, and 1,078 investors. Great. 5 years back, This is all. This I could not get the recent data. It is much more than that. So this is all about the increasing area rise of fintech, tech, and healthcare nowadays. After COVID, they are being taken given much more importance so far. This startup because these are the increasing area. You must be motivated. Now the gray area also required to be known about. What gray area? Where these incubators and accelerators are required. The importance of the incubators and accelerators are much more because general people are required to be supported. Huge population we have, so huge number of startup we can produce. But this gray area is also important to understand what those are. India ranks 77 out of 190 economies in the world. In the world, so New Zealand first and Somalia 190th as per 40th out of 138 economies as per World Economic Forum. Still, we need to go much up if we plan to fight with the China and some other countries who are doing great now. 60th out of 137 as per the Global Entrepreneurship Index. Again, not great. It's a gray area. It takes 29 and a half days to process and 12 procedures. However, Government of India is trying hard to improve the business, doing business, but still these number of days required to reduce much, and single window is not 100% single window. Still, investors or the promoters or entrepreneurs are required to move here and there to get permission also. This is again gray area. It required to be for entrepreneurship education. However, in the new education policy, it has been inserted that in every corner of India, there will be a single curriculum, same curriculum for entrepreneurship development for our students. At present, before NEP, it was not. It was different course in different university. Now, last slide is how much we are ready for entrepreneurship. How much we are. Again, this is encouraging, and this may motivate you all to join this club of entrepreneurs and startup. India has 360 million youth population, tail density 1205 plus million subscribers. 40% net users are from age group of 25 to 38. Angel investors, venture funding, private equity, banks, financial institutions, incubators, micro unit development refinance agency Mudra Yojana for providing loans up to 10 lakhs by the government of India. All these schemes are there to support you. I think there is no need to differentiate in angel and venture. You have already been. Rest, it is very much clear from the name itself. So these are the agencies which can support you on if you are really in need of the funding and you are doing good over there as an entrepreneurs or the startup. Entrepreneurship opportunities with Digital India, Swachh Bharat, Make in India, and the Startup India, the great programs by the Government of India, and Government of India is providing much support in all these areas and huge scope for Indians to do good. So you have opportunity to tap it on. Around 160 business incubators and accelerators are operating, which is third highest in the world. So third highest, though number wise, but as because we have much more population, we are expected to start much more accelerators and incubators in the days and years to come. State and central government are pumping more than across 400 billion into improving school infrastructure and teaching resources so far, and emphasizing on the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So this is about the entrepreneurial readiness. I will make it, and if anybody is having any question, you may ask for.
I think, sir, there is no question. No one is raising hand.
Okay. Thank you. Great. I think they are exhausted. Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you so much,
Saying
sir.
they are understand.
Thank you so much, sir, and giving your valuable guidance and suggestions to the students. I hope to see you soon on some other platform with some other discussion, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Students, I must tell you that we will be sharing a feedback form to you, and you are supposed to fill that form and give us a valuable feedback. I'm so thankful that today you were there and you uh, patiently listened three lectures. So the topic of the discussion, the first was to it was for business communication for the global scenario. The other two topic were for the IIC, wherein we were supposed to discuss about the opportunities for incubators, accelerators, and angel investors. So just a quick note here that any one of you who is interested to have your own startup, you can very well visit to various website. I am just opening a website which is again by the Ministry of Education Innovation Cell. And what you can see here that uh, you just open their website and you can see that incubators and pre-incubators. When you will click on this tab, you will have another tab wherein you can see that where are the incubation facilities in institutions are available. When you click on this, you will have a list of this uh, wherein you can find that there is an institution name where it is listed and what the thrust area wherein they are supporting the startups by providing their incubation center, right? So any one of you who is interested, they can visit their website, this particular website, and you can have a fair amount of idea that in which institution you can really go for your startup. For example, some of you may be interested for some sort of technology development, then you can go to IIT Delhi. Then there are certain who are looking for some service startups, then they can go to institution in Noida. There is one particular, I'm just forgetting that name, but I can tell you if you meet me in person. So there are a number of institutions who are providing incubators, and I think that Jha has already made you clear that what is the difference between incubators and accelerators. Simultaneously, we are also, I mean, Tecnia is also in the process of developing an incubator. We have pre-incubator, but we are planning to change it now to incubator. So this is how you can, if you have any idea and you find that you require a space where you can really sit and work on your idea, you can utilize these incubator facilities. Yes, and you know what accelerators are. I think there are accelerators as well, but then when you talk about accelerator, they have their objective as well. They wish to earn I mean, they will be asking you some sort of equity share as well. So before going for incubator or accelerator, please just thoroughly check that whether you want a facility for incubator or accelerator. I mean, what sort of support you are requiring. You really want to get a support for incubator center, then go for that. Or you wish to for accelerator, the major difference between incubator and accelerator is that incubators only go for the just inception of idea, and you want a lab where you can really sit, you can have an office where you can really talk to your customer, something like that, then incubator. But accelerators help those startups who have really crossed the incubation stage, who have really moved forward from the incubation state. So accelerators are something which are a next step when it comes to startup. And then if you talk about who are the angel investor, directors has already spoken a lot, but I must tell you that there are certain website wherein you can go and you can really find out that who are the angel investors and what is their interest area, and based on their interest area and based on your product or service, whatever you are thinking of, you can really talk to them. You can share your business idea and you can have a tie up or linkages with them, which says this is Indian Angel Network. You can just visit the website and you can find there are the number of investors are there. But one cautious suggestion from my side: before going to investor, you have to be doubly sure that you are talking to a right person, a right company. Otherwise, you may feel that you have been cheated. Your idea has been, no, they may steal your idea and then they can produce it in their own name. So before talking to any investor, make a thorough exercise, visit their website, go in person to their office, meet the concerned person, and try to evaluate before you really share your innovative or the innovice idea. So that's all from my side. I just wanted to make you understand that there are people, there are company, there are things which will really help you to raise your own company. Thank you so much. Thank you, students, for your patience, for being such a patient listener and cooperating with us for and making this session successful. Thank you so much,
Okay, ma'am.
Suraj.